Good Monday morning. It is about 9:20 and we're on our way home from getting rabies vaccinations for our 4.5 month old puppies, and thinking about the day and what we've got going on and really looking at the whole week. And here goes. Ready? Okay, so today we had rabies vaccinations. We have a puppy appointment at 10:30. We have food pantry at 9:30. We have another puppy appointment this evening. Tomorrow is Tuesday and I wake up and I take the kids to school. I need to bathe dogs and get paperwork together, but I also have to go to a catering job tomorrow, which I'm told is going to be all day. So I have to make arrangements today for somebody to pick up my kids from school and be home with them after school so that I can work tomorrow. I also have a puppy appointment tomorrow. We can pray that a puppy is going home. Then after that, on Wednesday, I have to go back to work. So after I drop the kids off at school in the morning and find a babysitter for Sebastian, then I have to go back to work and work until I deliver the catering job about midday, and then I get to come home. Then once I come home, I still have to do all of my own work at home. So Wednesday is going to be then once I get home and pick the kids up from school and got all of that stuff going on, my older son goes off to D&D, and then we'll have all our normal stuff to do. Still have to do paperwork. We have puppies to take care of. We have house training to do. We have leash training to do. We have yard cleanup. We have basic poop pickup from the dogs. We have to clean out the garage from the winter. So that's all things that we need to do this week. I need to create new pen systems because over the winter, my pen collapsed from the weight of the snow. So I have to design and build a new pen system so that we can get our little puppies outside in the nicer weather as it comes up. They're going to be 5 weeks old this week, and so we really need to get them outside exploring the grass and the weather and the air and all of that comes with being a dog. So we've got a lot on our plate this week. In addition to that, of course, there's always regular paperwork, YouTube videos, editing, uploading, all kinds of things. And as I think about that whole list this morning when I was on my way to animal control, I'm thinking, I really need to slim down and I really need to stop saying yes. For one, I wish I hadn't said yes to this catering stuff, but I feel like, that's real money right now, right? So my puppy business is real money and I need to do that business, and I need to work it. I need to work it so that I make that money. But oftentimes I get distracted by the fact that that's not, I work hundreds of hours for my dog business before I make any money. When I go to catering and I'm working for somebody else, I make money per hour and I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. So I know that I have money coming in. But what happens when I do that is that then I'm not doing the work that I need to do, and so I'm putting off the potential earning of my own business and building that business. So I say yes because I feel in a panic to earn money now, and it is hurting my business. So that's one of the things that I need to get better about streamlining, is not saying yes to the things that get in the way of me doing what I need to do for my family. And that doesn't just mean for my business. I feel that I have a calling on my life by God to, one, do this channel. And if I start busying myself with all these things and worrying about things, and so saying yes to things because I feel guilty or I feel pressured or I feel desperate, then I am taking away from the ministry and the job that I feel that God has called me to do. And I think that's a really hard, for me, and I don't think it's just for me, but I think it's a really hard place to be, because I have people on the outside of me saying, well, you need money, so you have to say yes to that job. And I'm like, yeah, but then I'm in a panic, and then I'm not getting things done. So I'm in a panic for money, and then I'm in a panic for time. And we only have so much time in a day. And then what are the things that get left out when you get in that panic for time? Morning time with the Lord, prayer time, Bible study time, because then when I really I'll be like, I don't have time to go to Bible study today. I'm going to have to just stay home because I've got other things that need to be done that are more pressing. And so we then start to say that the things of the day are more pressing than the things of the Lord, even though that we know down deep that when we are spending time with the Lord, He makes the rest of the day go well. How is it so easy to lose focus on that and to not put that first? Like, we can do it every day for a long period of time, and then it's like something just hits you like a ton of bricks. And if you just skip it for one day, then it becomes easier and easier and easier. And anyway, so that is one of the things that I struggle with, and not just today, but over the course of my life, is that I say that I trust God. In my mind, in my beliefs, in what I know, in what I believe, is that God is trustworthy. But then, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this, there comes a point where my emotions don't, my feelings, my emotions don't match my beliefs. Because I would never say that I don't believe that God is not trustworthy, that God will not provide for me. The thing that I don't know is when and how, and am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what God's calling me to do, and therefore He will provide for me through that? Or have I stepped off the path where He's not going to honor that and provide for me? Is it about the task that I do, or will God provide for me anyway because I am His child and my heart is to do what He has to do, so even when I make a mistake, He'll still provide for me? And all that's very confusing, and it gets your brain all wrapped up. And the bottom line is that then I don't live in light of what I believe. I make decisions out of the unsureness of, not of God, but of me. And so I misplace my faith. I don't know, but I misplace who is the one. That's what it is. I misplace who is the one who is going to provide for me. He is the one. He's not providing based on what I do. He's providing for me because He loves me, and because I've asked Him to, and because He said He would, because He made that promise to me. It wasn't an agreement between the two of us where I have to hold up my end and He has to hold up His end. And I think that's where I get muddied. It's like, well, if I'm not walking with Him, if I'm not doing the right thing, then how is He going to provide for me? Why would He provide for me? And so I think keeping that straight, that said, God is God, and God doesn't lie, and God made a promise, and God is going to do that. And no, I don't know what it looks like, and I don't know how it happened, and I don't really even know what it means to walk in the faith and the trust and the hope and the belief, not the hope, because I do hope, but in the solid belief that I don't have to worry about that. Because not when I'm sitting on my couch being lazy, but when I am walking in that, I'm walking with Him and trying to do the things that I believe that He's called me to do, then He honors His word, not because of what I'm doing, but because of who He is and who I am to Him. Not who I am to you or who I am to me even, but who I am to Him. And so I am so thankful for that. At the same time, it is so easy to lose that focus, to lose that single-minded focus that God is my provider. The things that I do on earth and the way that the money comes in or things are taken care of, like none of that matters. God is going to use what he will use, how he will use it to provide for me, and it isn't necessarily going to look like I want it to look. I'm not going to say to God, or he's not going to do what I tell him to do, where I say, you know what, I really just need a check to be in the mail today for $2,000 for whatever, for my rent and my car payment. That just would really show me, God, who you are. And I know that there are instances in the Bible where, in thinking of Gideon specifically, where he said that, and God did that, and obviously it was with the fleece and being wet, the fleece wet, and then the ground around it and the fleece dry and all that stuff, as he asked God to prove who he was to him because he was scared. And I feel like that sometimes, yet at the same time, I know we have the Bible where he has shown himself faithful over and over and over and over and over to people who in their own rights aren't doing the right thing, or sometimes do the right thing. And so I feel like that's our fleece, right? That he's already proven himself and he's given us his word to show us who he is. And so do I love it when he proves himself to me? Absolutely. Does he need to prove himself to me the way I say? It's more amazing when he proves himself in a way that I don't say. But I was listening to YouTube Shorts last night, and I'm getting a little long-winded here, but there was this man on there. Was it the Shorts? Anyway, it was on YouTube, and it was a man on there, and he was like, I was an atheist, and I was just at my lowest point, and he's like, I hadn't talked to my mom in 5 years, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his name or anything to be able to reference to him, but the story just stuck with me. And he said, I was at my lowest point, and I don't remember anything about why, but he was like, God, if you're real, I don't believe that you're real, but if you're real, I need to hear from my mom. His mom didn't have his new phone number. He didn't know where he was, nothing. And he said it took about 30 seconds, and his phone rang from a blocked number, and he answered it, and it was his mom. And she just said to him, God said I needed to call you, that you were in pain. So it's just a great example that God hears our cries. He knows what we need. Sometimes he answers the way we ask him to. And other times he answers in ways that we can't imagine. So, how is God answering your needs, providing for your needs today? Spiritually, emotionally, relationally, physically, financially. I think I'm going to try to start tracking that. And even though sometimes it appears as though other people are fulfilling those roles, just like the story that I just told, Mom actually called, but God made it happen. How is God working in my life, in your life today?